Beyond the Ice Palace 2 is a game with a lot to like, but it fails so utterly at one of the most important aspects of a punishing action game: precise controls. Wearing its influences on its sleeve, its beautiful art and interesting story are marred by nonsensical controls and incomplete button prompts. The developers obviously love Castlevania, but this is not a Metroidvania game. This is a Castlevania game with some extra RPG elements. It reminds me of the gameplay of the first 3 Castlevania games from the Nintendo in its presentation, enemies, and level design. Unfortunately, it also controls like a game from the NES days, and not in any of the good ways. The title has 3 forms of dashing: a ground dash, air dash, and a ring dash, where you pull yourself towards a ring you're swinging from or otherwise attached to. The ground and air dash share a button, but the ring dash uses a strong attack button, which makes chaining together a ring dash and air dash needlessly clunky. The game's button prompts and key bindings are also very undone on PC. While this may have been acceptable for this type of game 5 or 10 years ago, plenty of games in the genre, and games with far more precise platforming, have managed to make keyboard and mouse as smooth as a controller, so it's not as acceptable in 2025. However, much of this weight and clunkiness is intentional. The game is meant to harken back to the great platforming action games of the Nintendo Entertainment System, and they were brutal. The issues can be overcome with practice, but a few small tweaks would make the game feel better in hand. But let's talk about the good stuff. The art style is gorgeous, giving notes of Berserk, Dark Souls, and the aforementioned Castlevania series. Enemies are the standard fare of skeletons and bog monsters, but the boss design reminds me of some of the body horror monstrosities of horror manga and anime. The music is similarly engaging, keeping the grimdark mood while still serving its purpose as gameplay-driving background music. The upgrade mechanics are what you'd expect. You spend crystals and currency to upgrade your passive stats and unlock new abilities, which will allow the persistent to overcome challenges beyond their skill by brute forcing them without enough upgrades. I want to love Beyond the Ice Palace 2 more than I do. The art, music, story, and presentation are all right up my dark, badly lit alley, but the control problems are something of a hurdle preventing me from giving it a strong recommendation. Beyond the Ice Palace 2 gets a 6 out of 10.